We have the king himself, Mr. John Carpenter, saying some really weird things about Halloween Ends. Let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie? Amen.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Well, I'm Pennywise the Dancing now.
Oh, Lord of the beast!
God, don't do that.
But sometimes death is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? Jake here. I have no friends, you know that already. We're gonna get into a little update on Halloween Ends here in a second, but first, if you guys could like this video and subscribe, that would be pretty awesome. And maybe I'll stop screaming at you for 2 seconds. So Halloween Ends comes out in about 3 months, and the marketing campaign is rumored to start very shortly with a trailer basically any day now at this point. It's been so many different dates have been rumored at this point. I'm not even gonna go over all of them. It's like, oh, maybe it's July 22nd when Nope comes out. Maybe it's like this weekend because that would be cool. I don't know. There's so many different things going around. The trailer can come out anytime this month. It's coming out this month though, I can tell you that for sure. But before we get a trailer and before Michael returns October 14th of this year, John Carpenter, the creator of Michael Myers himself, all the way back from 1978, who of course did the music with his son and Daniel Davies for this upcoming film, has said some kind of whack about the film. Speaking with Sci-Fi Wire this week, John Carpenter played it coy and said, "You'll see it's a departure from the others. It's interesting. Dave is a really good director. I love working with him." This aligns with something that Nick Castle said, who of course played the original Michael Myers, and had also recently noted that Halloween Ends will be a surprising conclusion to David Gordon Green's new trilogy, while makeup effects artist Chris Nelson similarly teased that the third installment in the trilogy is weird and different. All of this obviously aligns with the fact that this movie is just going to be a total departure from your typical Halloween format. Yes, I'm very interested, but I'm also very worried. There are rumors circulating right now that maybe Michael Myers dies in the first 15 minutes and the rest of the film is just about like a cult of Michael Myers, which, listen, I think was a really cool element of the last film. I think it was really cool. Like, I know many will disagree. I think the Evil Dies Tonight thing, chanting that over and over again, was a little ridiculous. I agree with you there. But the whole mob mentality thing that they played off of in Halloween Kills felt different, felt fresh, felt cool. But it wasn't the central focus of the whole movie. If you're telling me that David Gordon Green just made basically a mob movie in the Halloween trilogy, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed with Halloween Ends. If Michael dies in the first 15 minutes, if Laurie just kills him and overpowers him after an entire like circle of people couldn't do that, I don't know what to tell you. This is going to be a ridiculous movie then, if that's going to be the case. I really hope to God that that's not what's going to happen here. It's going to be a maybe back to basics kind of film where it's like it's Michael Myers stalking around again. And maybe they're just specifically talking about how it's different from everything else we've seen recently. Like, we've seen a lot of movies where it's Michael Myers and he's like the most brutal he's ever been. I mean, think about the past 4 Halloween films. That's basically been the concept of them. Both of Rob Zombie's films and both of David Gordon Green's films have kind of taken Michael Myers in a much more brutal direction. They've both done it in totally different ways, I think, which is what separates them and why I think David Gordon Green's movies are a little better. Hot take. I know some of my friends disagree with that, but I do really like David Gordon Green's new movies. And if this is going to be the case, if they're going to make a movie where it's just not Michael Myers centric, well, we already did that in this franchise and it wasn't very successful. But I do really love Season of the Witch, by the way. I just want to make that very clear. I just like making that joke a lot of the times. But let's talk a little bit about Season of the Witch real quick, because that had some problems. I love that film. I think it's a great standalone movie, but the biggest problem with it is the fact that it has Halloween in the title. It should have just been called Season of the Witch. It should have no affiliation with this franchise. If you wanted to make a Michael Myers reference, like that one scene at the bar with Season of the Witch, you could have just made that movie and it would have been a cool reference. Cool. All right. Season of the Witch takes place around Halloween time too. Awesome. It's a great movie. I love it. I hope they make a remake of it someday and maybe Blumhouse will do it. That would be awesome. But it's not a Halloween film. It's just not. It doesn't have the same DNA as your typical Halloween movie. Does it kind of have the same feel to it overall? Sure. But the plot line, the story, it's so different, doesn't even fit in this universe. I do love it though. I do want to make that very clear. I think Season of the Witch is the most underrated, one of the most underrated horror films of all time. Tom Atkins is amazing in the lead role, is the biggest sleazebag of all time. He's trying to take down a madman who stole part of Stonehenge to control people's minds with Halloween masks. That's awesome. I have no complaints there. Season of the Witch is fantastic. I can't say that enough. But it shot itself in the foot right from the get-go by calling it a Halloween film. I mean, do you think they would make a Scream movie without Ghostface and none of the original characters? No, probably not. I probably wouldn't do that. I'm still excited for Halloween Ends, but all of these little inklings we're getting from people who are involved, it's starting to worry me a little bit. It's definitely starting to worry me. This is more worrying news than it is positive news, in my opinion. I mean, I'm always down for something different, but if you're going a little too far in that direction, sometimes you can lose the DNA of what a franchise is. I have faith that David Gordon Green has not done that here, and maybe has delivered us an awesome back to basics Halloween Ends film. That would be great. That'd be a great way to end the trilogy. End it the same way you started it back in 1978. That would be pretty cool. What do you guys think about all this, though? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this new Halloween Ends update. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content coming in the future. I would appreciate that. Mwah! There's a big old nasty smooch for those who do all those things. If you want to support this channel even further, by the way, you can support me on Patreon or become a channel member today by clicking that join button on my page. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.